All right, this is of what is, first of all, impossible light activity. You can see my shadow that's flat on the ground. You can see the shadow of this staircase that is right over here. This is why you can see my hand. This is the light activity that's appearing inside of Tracy Banks' apartment when the demons who live under a remaining fake sun in alignment with me, speaking to what is stalking with engineered light. That's not sunlight, that creates upright shadows of objects at a distance away from itself. This is where the entity that is monitoring the evidence that I'm publishing on the video of the internet on YouTube right now, where you can find it published as of 6:18 p.m. They are pacing and their shadows are, engineered light is moving on the inside of Tracy Banks' apartment, which is impossible light activity as well. It's as impossible as you're looking at what is light manifesting all over the surface, and that's not the sun. Okay, this is a very unpersuasive and highly unintelligent illusion where the demon possessed are engaged in criminal surveillance, and it includes the government. The same government that was wearing a San Bernardino County Sheriff's badge, and the fake sun was over this apartment building at 12:53 in the afternoon. And as I walked to this angle of what is apartment number 41, where you see the fake sun over this apartment number 41 at 8 o'clock in the morning, at 11 o'clock in the morning, at 12 in the afternoon, at 1 in the afternoon, after 3 in the afternoon, you're looking at what is non-movement while the entity is under what is a light source that remains in perfect alignment with me, identifying who the entity that is demon possessed, that is corrupt, who they are targeting, and it is gang stalking. All right, this is at Woodside, where Linda Reyes is going to federal prison, where all the neighbors are going to federal prison in units 33 through 64, where the fake sun rises at 9:01 in the morning and sets now after 6 p.m. and deviating from setting in alignment to this tree, now setting in alignment to what is the building. We're still impossible light activity, and the fake sun is reaching underneath structures, which is creating the shadow of objects at a distance away. That's the pattern of conduct of stalking with light. And while the entity is monitoring communication devices, the demonic environment is maintained in what are facilitating venues, identifying gang stalkers who are mentally ill, violent sex offenders, and they're going to prison here. Okay, walking in, what is the creation of your shadow? That's 8GEN638. He is going to federal prison. All right, and he's doing so under the fake sun at 7:26 in the morning on February 28, 2025 with RGS, doing so as a community, all right, and doing so with impunity as well. This is the entity that is under that fake sun, as you'll reference the documentation of him walking under the fake sun. And adjacent to me, the entity is gang stalking as this same gate appearing on engineered light beside me while that demon walks by and is monitoring me and is under what is, first of all, the fake sun that's still at the same venue, but also the engineered light that's appearing and disappearing all around me. That sex offender resides in unit number 48. Him and his mom are going to federal prison. They're violent sex offenders monitoring my genitalia together today with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. They're going to federal prison. They're engaged in monitoring my genitalia, violent sexual and predatory motives for gang stalking in bathrooms at an apartment complex on behalf of a government that has no legitimate interest in what's between my legs. Nevertheless, they are gang stalking in an environment that is readily identifiable. It defies nature. And so does their behavior. This is demon possession. And demon possession is that which is a national security threat, engaging in terrorism right in front of your face, in front of what is, legally speaking, their federal prosecutor. And I'm also speaking to what is necessary, their diagnosis for the mental illnesses that they in fact suffer from while they are engaging in the psychopathic targeting system of federal group stalking and monitoring in the specific environment, which is speaking to a conclusive prosecution. All right, this is the P.O.C. When you're looking at my shadow walking around, crossing path by and living at the venue is a prosecution for federal group stalking and monitoring, also by AVANATH Capital Management. This is what the entity is doing while I am on the internet publishing video and impossible light is appearing. They are all living in relevant position, monitoring and engaged in surveillance on communication devices as well. And that's documentation of impunity of all of these defendants who are going to prison and mental asylums, demonstrating the fact that that's exactly where they need to go on an ongoing basis in a specific environment, and also while they pace right in front of you while you're prosecuting them at the same time, points directly to the demented mind state, the obsession, and that mental illness, which is born of demon possession. It is currently 6:22 p.m. where there could not possibly be the sun, contrary to what I documented at this time of year, that is setting in this same perfect alignment in my bedroom in Los Angeles, and at the address of 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6 on the 3rd floor facing Alvarado Street, where in that same apartment I documented the sunrise in that same apartment in the living room facing the hillside. And this is the pattern of conduct where I'm documenting the fake sun rising and the fake sun that is setting. This is the P.O.C. that defies the natural environment, and that is speaking to, again, the demonic environment where the demon-possessed are engaged in what is a hovering and psychopathic and sexually perverted P.O.C. They're also stalking in violation of the Violence Against Women Act, and they're doing so with regard to losing all of the housing benefits. These are the unemployed, can't pay their rent, but yet they're gang stalking, and the government is paying their rent, speaking to the laws that are going to change in the state of California, need to change, funding terrorism, and the incompetence and corruption of the government that is gang stalking via the people of the state. It is currently, again, 6:23 p.m. This is P.O.C.